Hi Harshita, thank you so much for joining us. Actually, I'm very thankful that you have joined because you are the first guest on this podcast, and I'm very thankful. So, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers so that they can understand?
Sure, sure. First of all, thank you, Ali, for having me here. That's such a great honor to, share my interview experience on such a huge platform. So I'll start with my introduction. I'm Harshita Penguria. I'm from Rajasthan, and I'm a 2023 computer science graduate, and I have completed Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science from BTU, Karnataka. And after that, I started working at Vodafone. From the past 2 years, I was with Vodafone, and now I've resigned. I'm working as a QA engineer at Blossom Social Canada. So yeah, that's about me. Work regarding I'm automation QA. So that's all.
Okay, so this video will be very helpful for the testing guys because she will share her experience how she got into Deloitte and how she got other offers also. She can if she wants to. So first of all, tell us like what motivated you to apply for Deloitte or how you got into Deloitte, getting offer
So
letter.
motivated, I don't think so as such there was a motivation, because let's face it, when we start our job search, it's mainly like whatever company is hiring, openings are there, just madly apply to those. And yeah, Deloitte was one of the company which I wanted to work for a very long time. And when I saw that they are hiring, no one wants to miss that chance to begin a big four company. So
Yeah.
that's how the
So that is
Deloitte
the first thing people think whenever they hear Deloitte. So that is the first thing which comes in mind, that it is a big four and everyone wants to join it. So that is the first thing which actually motivates everyone. And like what was like the process, and how you applied for the interview.
So, as anyone, I didn't had any referral process here, but I've heard that that helps. But when I saw the opening for the testing part for my role, I straight went to Deloitte's careers page. That is usi.deloitte.com, something that is,
Okay,
and I
so
created a.
guys, one thing, sorry for interrupting. So I'll comment this link, whatever she is telling, careers.usi jobs.in. So there you can find out whatever openings they have, and you can track your application also there. So that is the first thing which you should know actually, because most of the people are commenting and asking me how to track their status, job application status. So this is the link which I'll provide in the comment, and you can go through that. Yeah, Harshita,
Okay.
continue.
So same thing, I applied using that link. First, we have to create an account, I guess. In that account, we have to give our resume, work experience, the college name, and everything. Like it took around 30 minutes or something for me to create that account, because my college was a tier 3 college. So I had to, scroll and search there to give my
Okay.
college name. So that was one tedious task, but yeah, I created the account and I applied for the position.
So
Then
you
I
got your college name there, or you just
No, it was not there. I selected others, and
others
then
and then you
after
mentioned.
others, I got the option for my college name. Then I entered my college name there.
Okay,
So
great.
after, I guess, 2-3 days of application, 2-3 working days, I'm speaking here. I got a call from Deloitte HR that your application has been shortlisted. We would like to have you on the interview. So yeah, that's how the application process went.
So like what was the role, exact role or position which you have applied for?
So it was API testing consultant role. The location was in Hyderabad or Bangalore.
Okay, so how much time it took after like applying? How much time they took to call you?
Uh, After the for the first interview, it took around 3 to 4 working days, and the whole process took around 1.5 months.
1.5 months for like getting till selection, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so before going to the selection, so tell our viewers how many rounds were there.
Okay, so for API testing consultant, I had 3 technical rounds. Initially, the HR screening, let's not consider that as a round. After that, 3 technical round and one HR round was there. So technical one was with a senior consultant, because it was a consultant role. Technical two was with a manager, and technical three was with senior manager.
Okay, so you had two manager rounds.
Yes.
Okay, so few guys have only one techno managerial round, or because they combine technical and managerial round both in one round itself. So you had separate round, those like two, one with the manager and one with the senior manager.
Yes, the senior manager one was more of a techno managerial round.
Okay, so great. So how did you prepare for the interview, and like what is the difficulty level of the questions which they have asked?
So, difficulty, I would say it was not that difficult because that was the work which we are doing in day-to-day lives. So I had mentioned Selenium and automation in my resume. I had mentioned performance testing. So the questions were mainly around my resume and the job description. So here, what I generally do for interviews is I take the job description, I put it to AI, and I try to get all the possible set of questions they may ask
Great.
in the technical rounds. So then it gives me a list of questions. Plus, I had already given few interviews previously, so I had a brief idea what type of questions they might ask. So the questions were for API testing. Generally, they were around the status codes of what to expect, and when you have no idea of the APIs, when no documentation has been provided from the developer, what will be your first step, what is bug life cycle, how do you manage test cases. Those were the initial basic questions they asked.
Okay, great. So, guys, we can take help of AI actually, because even I did the same thing while like preparing for interviews. I used to talk to ChatGPT like for more than half an hour. I used to say like, please be my interviewer and take my interview. So all those things will help a lot. You should try it. Like, what was the technical questions which you want to tell our viewers, like testing guys? What are the common things they may ask in the question, like interviews?
So as far as Deloitte is concerned, their rounds are pretty much, around the whatever questions are going on in the, testing domain right now. So mainly the questions were for API tester. They asked me again that I mentioned earlier. So it was status codes. What are 200, 201, 404, 500? What are these status code means? And for automation regarding because it was a API tester role. So in Postman, when someone does automation, so there is a test tab. We use JavaScript for the automation. So they asked few questions around that: pm.test, pm.response, those kind of questions. And after that, they asked SDLC, what is software development lifecycle, what is software testing lifecycle, and bug lifecycle they ask. And basic normal testing questions like if you get a new feature, what's your first thought of testing it? What will you do the first point? If you get a new API, what will you do? So the questions were mainly centered around these topics.
Okay, great. So what were the tools like you were using, and what tools they have asked? Like any tools you want to specify here?
Yeah, here actually one thing which I observed was even though few things which were not mentioned in the job description, but they were mentioned in my resume. As I said that I have done performance testing as well. So that is like a slightly different type of testing which we do. So I had used JMeter and Datadog for that. So if the interviewer has a knowledge in the specific domain and tool, they will ask you questions related to that if you have mentioned in your resume. So you can expect, if whatever you are writing on your resume, just make sure that it is true. And if it is not true,
Yes.
if you know how it works. So that's what helped me.
Yeah, actually, most of the people, what they do, they mention most of the things in resume, and they are not aware of those things, and it may create issues like in your interview process. So be very careful while mentioning whatever things you are mentioning. So Harshita, tell us like what was the time gap between each round in your interview process?
So actually, for Deloitte, I had to follow up quite a few times for my interviews. So the first round was after 2-3 days of the initial HR call, and after that, after the first round, it took around 2 weeks for the second round to be completed. Then for that time being in the 2 weeks, I followed up with my HR, and I asked what's my feedback, if I've cleared the round, can you please tell me when is my second round. So these are minor things which we have to do as a candidate if you are really expiring for that particular company. So I followed up quite a few times, and after second round it took around again 2 more weeks for the third technical round. Then after third technical round, around 1.5 week for the HR round. So that was the timeline.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to mention this also. Like most of the guys are impatient after applying to Deloitte or any MNC. Most of the time it takes around 1 month also. So for me, after first round, I forgot about Deloitte because after 25 days they reached out to me and they told me that my first round is cleared and are you available for second round. So you should be very patient about these things, but
Yeah.
if you have done good in interview, you will, of course, you will be selected. So like what was your feedback from them in managerial round, whether you got selected or not? Those things wanted to.
Actually, as far as I'm concerned, they don't give the straight feedback to you. But here, something clever I do in interviews is when I know that the pace is going good and I'm having a good conversation with the interviewer, at the last, when they ask, do you have any questions? So I ask them, as per you have spoken to me for like an hour, and what do you think where I stand in my technical domain knowledge right now? So they generally give, that feedback matters a lot because that gives you an idea how the interview went. So in all, not just Deloitte, whatever companies I've interviewed for, this is something which I ask at last, like what should be the feedback which you have for me. So they generally tell you straight, like how were you in the interview. So that's how I ask.
Okay, great. So, did you get selected? This is what people wanted to know. I think they will be very excited to know that. So, did you get selected or did you get offer letter or anything from them?
Yeah, actually, I got selected, and but my case was slight different of how things proceed in the general hiring process. So I got selected. I had the salary conversation with HR, and they did tell me that offer is in progress. When I tracked in my Deloitte's profile, so there it was showing offer in progress. But after 2 weeks of that, when I didn't get the offer letter on the desired or on the expected date, I called the HR and I followed up with an email. Then they told that the requirement is not there anymore. So from business law, we can't proceed with your candidature. But so they had put my profile on hold after the salary discussions and everything. Plus, one more thing I wanted to highlight was, as I mentioned, that I interviewed for consultant position, and my experience was only for 2 years. And I believe Deloitte's consultants experience range starts from 3 years. So they made band down a little, so they were going to hire me as an analyst. But still, they gave me a very decent hike, 94-95% of my current salary hike
That
they
is
gave.
good.
So it's fine, if someone is getting, interviewed for consultant and later they tell they we can't hire you as a consultant, you can ask them for a band down, like to be an analyst or
Yes.
something.
So, like, what was the thing? Like, how you rejected it? Why you rejected it?
Actually, I didn't reject it because when I was interviewing for Deloitte, I already had an offer and I was already serving my notice period. So I was very clear in my mind, okay, Deloitte is a very good company. I'll get to
Yeah.
learn a lot in that organization. I didn't reject it when they told me the offer has been put on hold. Because that's very standard practice in corporate. So you can't really, fight with people. So I made my peace with it after a few weeks, and I was like, okay, if they call me, it's well and good. If they don't, I should just move on. So that's how the offer letter on hold works.
So, one message to viewers that you should not wholly or totally depend on one offer letter or one offer which you have from any company. You should be looking for other offers also if you are on notice period or if you have completed served notice period. So, what advice you would like to give to freshers or experienced guys who are going to interview with Deloitte or any other MNC?
So for freshers and for because I also have around 2 years of experience. I'm not that pro, but from the job market, what I have understood is, first of all, make your resume prompt to a certain level. So what helped me was, I made a resume with a very standard format, and I checked on around 5 websites. If the ATS score is more than 70, you should be happy that okay, fine. If you apply to the jobs now without referral, there are more chances of getting shortlisted.
Okay.
Second thing which I would tell for job seekers would be that when you apply for a job, so there are times when the job description doesn't really fit your resume, but there are some skill set in the JD which you know, but they are not in your resume. So prepare a docs file of your resume first, and take the JD, put it to ChatGPT or any AI, and ask them what would be the main keywords which will make my resume shortlisted by ATS,
Yes.
and put that in your resume and apply in such a way. And you know, because recession is so much going on right now, so we can't really, keep our hopes high if we are just applying to 1 or 2 jobs per day. When I was looking for a job switch, I applied like some crazy person.
Mm.
Around 6, 7 months, I applied to whatever job posting I see. I'm just sitting. I have a dedicated time for that, and I'm applying. So don't just apply to 2, 3 jobs in a day and tell, yeah, I'm not getting selected in any of the companies. That would be it. And make sure you perform well in the interviews. Don't go unprepared. So
Okay.
that would be it.
So first thing is resume, and second thing, you should apply, keep on applying for better jobs or better opportunities. You should not hold it like you have applied for 10 and you are saying like, oh, I have done a lot but I'm not getting any calls. So you should keep applying for better opportunities. So thank you so much, Harshita, for coming to the podcast and sharing your experience. I am very thankful, and even it will help a lot to other viewers also. So anyone who ever wants to share their experience, like they can mail me. I have already shared my mail ID in the comment, so you can go through that and mail me, and I'll get back to you. The same thing she also did, and I'm very thankful. I'm very happy that I got first guest on my podcast. Thank you so much, Harshita.
Thank you so much, Ellie.
Okay, bye.